I know one thing. Every episode always had, well, all of our characters, there was someone that was watching that somebody could relate to.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if
How
it
many
was,
times did we hear that?
yeah. So it was always ministry, always.
No.
Definitely. You know, we also, a lot of times when we go out, you know, to the skating parties or whatever, we had functions at the schools, or we did like the Decisions play. We did.
No, yeah,
That's
I
an
know that.
offshoot
Right.
at the Awakening. We did that in Rikers Island,
Oh, that was awesome.
and
Yes.
there was like 300 women there, and we did the play. And afterwards, there was a couple of women that were just like, I mean, they were rock solid hard. You know, I mean, they didn't want nothing to do with the Lord.
Right.
But after the play was done,
Yes.
they were the first two
ones.
crying like babies. You know, I mean, 300 souls came to know the Lord that day.
Even
In
some of
the
the
women's
officers
correctional
life.
And even some of the correctional officers, yes, that's
right.
right. Yeah, some of the correctional officers also
was
gave their lives to the
awesome.
Lord.
That was
Yeah.
so
I think that was
an
one of our high points,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
in
definitely.
doing the Awakening. When we did that on Rikers Island, it was, man, and plus we had a great time too. You know, we were there, you know, with the man of God, Apostle, and
Right.
went up to the what was that thing we walked up?
Oh, the Statue
Oh, God.
of Liberty.
We
That
literally
was
don't
so
do it.
funny.
And you know how the movie show where it's like all open and the wind is blowing and the hair is billowing and it's outside, you're in the little ring up there. Man, what are we
Those stairs out at your
doing?
knees.
Windows about this big.
We got up there, we thought it was gonna be all great. And we're all like this.
Windows like this.
Then you had to walk right back down. No place to sit
to
down.
rest or anything.
And
You
then the-
literally turn
right.
a corner, you're there, turn a corner, go back down.
And the banisters are right by your knees, so you're
and
walking
the
down
higher
like
you
this.
got, the thinner the staircase got.
What about
Exactly.
Tim? When Tim was going up,
He's
this
like
guy.
6 feet. What?
Seems like 6'7".
6'7".
Bending down, going all the way up. That
Oh,
was
and it took about how long to walk up there? About 2 hours.
It was
Seemed
a
like
long
My
time.
mom walked up there.
it took a long time. Maybe it seemed like
Apostle.
2 hours, but
walked
it
up
took
there.
a long
Apostle
time to
did
get
it
there.
too.
Apostle walked
He
up
said
there.
never again.
Oh yeah.
You know, as you see, we had a good
Filmed
time.
a lot of play.
Yeah.
Remember Roseland Hospital filming there?
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
They were always open their doors to us. They were great. Gosh, we filmed in the jails. What jail was that
Yeah.
over there on 111th?
That was the Robbins jail.
No, we filmed also at the one on 111th right off the expressway too.
Oh yeah, that's right. We sure did. Yeah, we sure
Yeah,
did.
we filmed all over Chicago. We get people saying, "You was at my house," or they stand around and say, "Can I be an Awakening?"
Yeah. I'll never
Awakenings.
forget.
Right.
Awakenings, right. I'll never forget the one that was in Robbins, the shootout when the little boy was shot. And remember, we had they were doing the rap in the car.
yeah.
And then a lot of people from Robbins were outside watching us film, and it was just so awesome the way it was made, because when Deadeye came out, it was you, right? That came out and shot up.
No, that was
No,
Poochie.
that's
no. It was
Bones was it Bones?
no, it was what's his name? Light skinned guy.
Mookie.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Mookie and Moochie, those names.
Mookie, Poochie,
Yeah.
Marquita. That old name. You know?
La Sharonda.
But man, that was just an awesome. That was just amazing. Especially, I love the slow motion of that, you know, and it was just so lifelike and just so real. And
Those were a lot of comments we got,
Yeah.
even in letters and phone calls about it's so realistic, or it's too real, or it's too violent. But I mean, that's the streets. That's how it was.
You know, a lot of the comments we did get, negative comments, were mostly from church folk. You know,
Yeah.
but you know, this wasn't geared for church folk. We did this for the the people out there in the world who were going through the things that we were portraying. So this was for them.
Right.
You know, and if it reached one person, then I believe that we did a good job. You know, but we know that it's reaching millions across
Man.
across the United States.
remember
so.
when we had the Bud Billiken parade?
Oh, jeez.
Remember all those kids? I have never seen so many kids.
Bum rush afloat.
Wow.
We had to literally have, the little buggies that the police are on. They were on each side of the float, and then police officers behind the float,
Right.
because they were running up and trying to jump on the float and pull us off.
And there were so many kids, you could almost just walk on their heads for blocks. It was just amazing.
What about that one guy who was doing all those cartwheels?
calling out for Wesley.
Oh,
do we ever get-
You gotta set the scene though. White tank tops, spandex shorts. What were they like, Dayglow green or something? Flipping the cartwheel.
I don't think he wants to remember that.
What do you think the most memorable moments have been working together?
You know, actually, my most memorable moment, I think, I have two, and one was when we went to that. Remember that the hotel we went to when we did that scene in the hotel?
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
We didn't film in the hotel.
Sorry, Jason.
Yes, I do remember. Yes, I do. I remember.
No,
It was a movie, all right.
The reason why I
Didn't
said it
air.
was one of my most memorable moments because, I mean, the place was so nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
You
the
are so
hotel
bad.
itself and the room was nice and
Waterbed and everything, right?
everything about it was nice.
Get to the end
You know,
of it.
but-
Make sure
no,
you
no.
edit this.
No, I liked it. I thought it was. I had fun. Come on.
Okay.
God. The next,
I'm not
hold on.
gonna-
All right. My next scene was the warehouse scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
I think that was the most
yes.
memorable
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
The one in Robbins, right?
The
That
one in
warehouse.
Robbins, yeah.
Oh, that was. Oh, and then the slow motion.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Oh,
video.
when he came in with the
Oh,
gun.
that was so
cool.
great.
That was cool.
Man,
You
was-
like that one?
You remember how cold it was?
No, you didn't.
Man,
Yes,
it was like 20
it was
degrees
freezing.
below.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
laryngitis. I couldn't even talk, but
We
they
had-
made me
we had
film
a-
anyway.
Yes,
We
they
had,
did.
we had that heater. We had a heater, and we turn it on when they weren't filming, and then when they started filming, we had to turn that heater off.
Wait, I wasn't in
That
it.
torpedo.
No, you weren't there. You were somewhere.
Is that why I was so memorable? Because I wasn't there, huh? Fun without Tiffany again?
That's right.
Yeah, you got saved then, and we were like, we didn't want to hear about that.
We don't want to talk to her anymore.
But actually, we used all the police officers. It was a lot of police officers from the Robbins police.
Chief Holmes was-
Chief
Yeah.
Holmes,
Yeah.
and all his guys from Robbins. So we do appreciate them allowing us to
Thank you, Chief
to
Holmes.
do that. Because a lot of the filming that we did, as I said earlier, in Chicago, we never got permission from Chicago. They wouldn't let us do it, so we had to like bootleg. You know what I'm saying? Go to different places.
Right.
You know, Robbins, Gary,
Chicago Heights.
Chicago Heights.
Right.
You know,
Everywhere.
even in Chicago here, we did film it anyway.
We did
you know,
film here, but we
then
had
we
to-
were hit and run.
I remember one of the most touching letters that Apostle Turner read to us is that somehow, excuse me, our tapes had gotten to Japan and to a Japan high school there. They couldn't understand the our English, but they could understand the situation in which Marquita was going through. And a lot of Japanese had gotten saved through just merely watching the Awakening video. Somehow the
forgot
Lord
about that,
blessed
yeah.
for that tape to get over across the ocean to Japan. And many souls had gotten won in Japan because of the Awakening
Praise the Lord.
to that particular scene
Wow.
or sings.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I remember a letter from a guy in prison. I don't remember the content of it. The only thing I remember is just saying that every Saturday night he would watch The Awakening, and he was pleading to never have it, never let it go off, because it's something that he looked forward to, and it was something that changed his life. And through The Awakening, in his letter, I do remember he said that he knows that there's hope through Christ, and that one day, even though if he never gets out of prison, he'll be out of prison in his mind. In other words, he'll be free from accepting Christ. And so I remember that part of the letter. And so it has touched so many people, especially behind bars.
Yeah.